Last time out, we officially secured the title with this 3-0 win against Chitex BK, and we've played the rest of the league games since we last met. So, how did we get on in our first 3 games as a professional team? The first of those 3 games was against IK Uppsala Football, and we beat them by 3-1. We were 3-0 up inside 50 minutes, and we were comfortable. We did concede a late goal in the 71st minute of the game, but it wasn't enough to really give us any issues. And if we look at the stats from the game, we were very comfortable, to say the least. Really good performance from our point of view. And then if we look at the player stats as well, again, useful. It wasn't terrible. We did have a few bookies that we need to be careful about, but honestly, other than that, we looked quite comfortable in this game. And the fact that Goldman got a goal and had the highest XG as a midfielder is interesting to me, and it says a lot potentially about the kind of player that she is. But still, she helped make things happen, and we were very, very good in this game. A 3-1 victory that we very much deserved. The next game we had was a 3-1 victory against Trollsborg, which means we've now beaten every team in the league at least once, which as far as I'm concerned is wonderful stuff. We always like winning these sort of things. It was 3-1. They did get a goal back after we took the lead initially, but then second half, after having got on the lead back, we made sure the game was ours. If you look at the match stats, again, we're really good. Possession-wise, we love to keep the ball, and it's one of those things that works really well for us. It's going to be one of those things that we'll need to potentially adjust in the future to see what we can do longer term in the top flight. I don't know what to expect in this situation, considering I've never been here, but I know in other times I've done something like this, and I've been promoted in other saves, that my tactic still works wonders because of what I can do in the market. But given we don't have a lot of wiggle room in the transfer market, and we only have an extra $2,000 effectively in the wages to really work with, and we've got to pretty much give every player in the team a professional contract, not a part-time contract, it's going to be one of those things we need to really adjust. And that is the plan that we're going to have to try and work out today. We've got to see the end of season stuff for the first time. I've not even seen the end of season review yet, so that's a thing. But we're going to see what happens. We're going to see who else goes up with us, because we have one more game after this match. And that game was a 3-1 defeat against Elfsborg, despite being the better team. And a little bit surprised that it happened, but we did equalise initially after going behind by 1-0, but then they ensured they got themselves back in front and then doubled their lead afterwards. So it was disappointing. It's one of those games where, for whatever reason, nothing went right, despite our best intentions, but sometimes it just goes that way and you don't get the result you truly deserve. Average rating kind of shows that we weren't at our best, and they also hit the woodwork at least once. But even so, it was a game we should have done better with. Our goalkeeper had a horror show, and even Emma Becker, our best centre-back, had a bit of a nightmare. And the fact that our front 3 also weren't very good, and I took them off at the same time. And honestly, they were placing didn't do much better, but it was one of those games where it didn't go so well. And that was Cecilia's last ever game for us too, given she's already moving on to another team in our division next year. So that's a thing to be concerned about. But despite losing the game, we still won the league by 15 points, and Elfsborg of all teams was the team that actually got promoted to second place. So the team that beat us in the last game of the year literally needed to beat us, because if they didn't, they wouldn't be promoted. And that's the thing that's happened. So that's annoying. I know we've beaten them in the past. I think we beat them. Yeah, we beat them earlier in the year. So that's a bit frustrating that we've lost to a team that we beat early in the year. But I will acknowledge that, yeah, it was probably because of the fact it was early in the season. But yes, they beat us to get themselves promoted. Trollsborg, who we beat, have missed out because they lost to us. So that kind of says it all, doesn't it, really? We actually lost to the top 4 teams, and that was interesting to say the least. By the way, Susanana, a quick shout out to them. They lost their first 10 games of the season, sacked their manager, and then managed to survive anyway. I'm not sure if that says more about them or more about how bad the other teams were, that you could lose your first 10 games of the season and still survive. That's outstanding. That being said, there is a playoff, so the season isn't truly over just yet. That's why Trollsborg have their playoff position. They got to take on a team that is in the top flight above them. And that team is Linköping, the team that is in our Svensson Cupen group. So that's interesting. Hammarby have missed out on the title by a single point. Oh my god, their last 5 games. They've actually bottled it. They've truly bottled it. What on earth has happened here? Look at that. Run of fixtures. How have you blown this? Hold on, I've got to see what happened here. Because BK Häcken have just stolen it the last. And even they weren't particularly great. Only winning 2 of the last 5 matches. They lost to BK Häcken and then lost to the drew against Vitesse. They then drew against Norrköping. They then lost 3-2 against Angestas and then drew against Brommapojkarna. Oh dear, dear, dear. What are you doing? Hammarby have blown their title on the last day of the year. Mind you, I look at this and actually, the Euro Cup's happening. Oh, the Euro Cup's. This is the first confirmation I've had about the Euro Cup, by the way, which I think says a lot. So, this is a new competition, and their league form has also been with European football as well to talk about it. But yeah, here we are. So, they beat Hammarby. They then lost against Brommapojkarna. They then lost against Linköping, who probably only survived because of that victory. They drew against Djurgårdens and then beat Batia in the last game of the year, while also playing European competition in the meantime. So the Euro Cup, they're in the quarterfinals of that. They're in the quarterfinals of the Euro Cup. So wait, hold on. They've knocked out Mura. Second qualifying round, they beat Roma. So Roma, that's a qualifying round? And the first qualifying round is this. When was this played? September? No. Yeah, September time. So 2 months ago. So this is the... So the quarterfinal, we've got Braga and Frankfurt, Wolfsburg and BK Häcken, Inter and Brann, Austria Vienna and Nordsjælland. Okay. I'm not going to lie. I didn't realize this was a thing that was happening right now. So I look at this and I realize there's only one Big 5 league in here that you consider Big 5 in the men's side of things. That's crazy to me, man. Oh my god, okay. Also, you can see a few things I need to really fix, and that's get some badges for the women's side of things. For whatever reason, I didn't get them for the men's side. I only got them for the men's side, not the women's side. But okay. They play in February too, so... Oh, that's the thing I remember about Sweden. Because of our break, and the other leagues don't tend to have their breaks, because our seasons don't start until, what, March time? This is effectively going to be in a pre-season or friendly period. That's going to be annoying. And we get paid 38 grand for winning the league. Nice. So we're still negative money, but we're getting better. So now we're going to look at the players and their contracts. And you're going to see the highest paid player is Annie Miettinen, who's 28, and she's been paid £290 a week. She's on a part-time contract. I am going to have to figure out when we can deal with this and what we can do with this. So let's go via Inspired Days, and we're going to have to give Trumic a new contract because she literally isn't going to be able to sign for us otherwise. But do I even want to keep her? Because I'm looking at this and I think maybe I don't want to keep her because of her performance ability. If I'm looking at the background stuff, again, I don't know how good this guy is at really judging players. I'm looking at this. He's also studying for a Continental A license, so he could get better there. But I'm looking at his ability here. I'm also going to give my staff new contracts too. But I'm looking at some of the ability and I'm realizing, maybe not as good as I hoped he could be. But at the end of the day, we're going to have to make sure we get some best stuff anyway. And we can do that soon. But we are going to need to get new players regardless at this point in time. And that's the important thing. So let's go back to Trumic again. And let's compare her to the other players. We got a lot of players behind her who have got good potential. And maybe letting her contract expire is the way to go for this one. As much as I don't want to say it, she's a fringe player too. She agreed to do it. Doesn't enjoy big games. That might be the reason to get rid of her. She's getting better too, but it's the big games thing. I can't have a player that doesn't like big games in my team. But perhaps the one player that I should make sure we nail down is Respum. She is on a contract that expires in a month, and she has got good potential as far as I'm concerned. She could be a decent player, so let's see what we could do here. I need to definitely see the contract situation, because if I can't get a contract situation I like, I might have to get rid of some players anyway. So let's see. We're looking at a few options. Inconsistent, mind you. Oh my gosh, she was double. This is a issue. Okay. I'll give it further thought. On 200, she almost wants double that. Oh, that's a problem. We're going to have to be very, very selective with that contract, I think. And let's just test this out now. Squad player. Pay it's recommended to do this. This could be a problem. No, okay. Yearly wage rise. Okay. I realized that between becoming professional and getting promoted, this is always going to happen. I need to lower this though. I can't afford to have this be a thing that comes in. I'm okay with everything else. Let's actually compare this with the contract. So £100 versus £300. I don't mind the £300 thing. The stuff that we're going to have to pay these people is going to be frustrating. She's going to get 25% anyway increase, so it'll be 220 regardless. Let's also remove and exclude that because I don't want to be caught with that. 310, 330, no, that's fine. I'm okay with that because it means that we're going to have to negotiate anyway a lot of contracts. I just need to be smart with how we do this. I am going to be very selective with what I do, and I think this is the problem I'm going to have to deal with right now is because we're newly promoted and we're professional, we're going to have to deal with a lot of financial situations like this, especially when we realize our finances, we've only got $2,000 to really give, and we're probably need to give a few to new players anyway. We're going to have to be very selective. So let's see what happens as we go forward from here. We did get the manager of the year, mind you, so that's good. Okay, so new stuff has come up. Not even that long after I decided I was going to get rid of that player's contract. We have got a supporter profile, and because of the way I played, I might just hurt myself a little bit long term. They want us to play attacking football, position football, entertaining football, high tempo pressing football, avoid relegation, and reach the playoffs. So they're okay with us getting in 14th, I think, as long as we're not relegated. Let's double check what that position is. 12th, it's 12th, never mind. Not 14th, it's 12th. We can only get the 12th place. We're okay with 12th place as long as we don't get relegated. The 12th place is the bare minimum here. Apparently a favorite personnel because of my achievements here. Nice. Okay, so this is in the season review. I've actually never had this so far. So this is going to be one of those things we need to be very careful about. And clearly the board were happy with the fact we won the league, given we're only supposed to be top half. And we've reached the group stage as well, no less. So it's good to see that's the case. They're very pleased with the management. They look forward to seeing how we do in the transfer market. That's a problem. That is a problem. Okay. So projections, we're expected to lose a lot of money, apparently. So that's terrifying. One of the reasons I had to be very selective with my finances, isn't it, really? Because I can't really afford to just splash out a lot of money and go from there. See, I think that's broken for some reason. I don't know why. I just feel like something about this is broken because it says going, but making money, but that's gone the negative. So unless we're making, I guess we are losing money. But it doesn't seem to imply what we're going to be doing otherwise. Okay, whatever. I can see the expenditure apparently going up as well. Why is that? That should be a negative, surely. Okay, whatever. Wages 1.3 million compared to just 302,000. Okay, cool. Yeah, apparently we're going to spend 4 times the amount of money on wages now. Thanks, guys. Club vision expectations. Attempt to avoid relegation. They don't even want anything else. Okay. Apparently they're also confused by this. They only want me to attempt to avoid relegation from this and work within the wage budget. Of course, they want me to do the attacking, possession, entertaining, high-tempo pressing football. Cool. Thanks. Also, this feels like this is a bit broken. We're literally not going to be challenging for promotion. I'm not going to do anything. Squad dynamics, team cohesion's good, and that's brilliant. I love that. Now to talk to the players, and it should be simple enough. Thank you all for coming. I want to take some time to do some thoughts. I'd like to talk about our aims for next season. Okay, I'm just going to go for the bottom one. You've all done brilliantly to get promoted, and even though we're probably coming back down, I'm going to give us the best chance of not just staying up, but realizing our true potential by bringing some new faces. That makes sense. I hope we regroup and move forward together in search of success. That's what I wanted to hear. Okay, I'm happy that was the option I needed to go for. I got nothing else to say. Thank you again. That'll be all for now. Thank God they're not unreasonable, honestly. Okay, so pre-season dates. Okay, I could choose five. I'm going to go for 5 weeks. I want to be back in February because I know in the future we will need to be back in February for European competitions, if I'm honest with you. Okay, now to do some business. I have no idea how this is going to go. I won't continue, and I get told my facility's been downgraded. I'm assuming it's my training facilities because they're now average, not good anymore. Our training facilities are no longer seen to be the standard they once were. As other clubs invest in their infrastructure and raise the bar accordingly, it might be worth finding the right time to talk to the board about our capacity to invest in improvements of our own. Yes, that would be lovely if we had the blasted money. Oh god, I made a promise. I made a promise to bring in players. Oh, I should not have done that. Okay. Don't forget, we're losing Cecilia anyway to another team. She's going to Norberking, so that's annoying. Which is why I'm not so concerned about the other situation with the DM right now. And I know I can bring players in regardless. Okay, so this is a player that I'm going to have to really focus on. I really, really hope you don't do something horrible to me financially. She's not interested. Why? Oh god, he's not interested. That's not ideal. Am I going to have the cash in on her? I know she's got 2 years left, but am I going to have the cash in on Isabel Goldman? Please don't make me do this. Okay, Emma. I'm looking at options. £400 a week. I'm going to stall. I mean, she's on 270 a week already, but this is... Oh, that's going to be... Jesus Christ. 400 is the max I'm going to go. Okay, they've actually been really reasonable with this. What was the previous offer, actually? Okay, so they mostly just want more loyalty fee and a bigger appearance fee. I realize that the loyalty fee is going to cost us a bit more, but you know what? £400, I'm going to take that. I'm going to ensure she's on a permanent deal so she can get better. Oh, that hurts a little bit, though. You know what I'd love to know? I'd love they actually gave a description as to why they got different clocks next to them. That is the thing I need to figure out longer term. And this might be about a mistake on my part. I am going to give my goalkeeper a new contract. She is only a leading player for the division we're just coming up from, but she's got potential. I'm going to try and work with this potential. Actually, let's double check a few things. There's nothing here about... she's consistent too. So despite having a few hiccups at times, and I will acknowledge she was not perfect. I mean, this 6.83 average rating kind of says, oh, I don't think she was terrible. I am going to... How much do you want? We're interested. Actually, not as bad as I was thinking it was going to be. But I'm really happy you're willing to go down from that. Okay. Wow. I was expecting worse. First choice. Okay, important. Fine. You know what? I'm actually okay with that. It's only... I know it's £140 more, but it's not... I think 400 is going to be the limit I'll go for. But I'm okay with that. It's also a permanent deal as well. Or at least a professional deal. Okay, so we've made sure that Liv Schomburg is a professional player now. On £180 a week, full-time contract. I feel like I'm justified in my... Oh my god, I just realized what I've done. Suddenly I can't really play her anymore. Oh god, what was I thinking? But we do have a better contract for Beyond. It's a 3-year contract. I will acknowledge, probably not my smartest move, but it's not any worse than that youth contract gave out. For goodness sake, what was I thinking? Becca's also got a new contract, £400 a week. It's our highest salary now, and I will acknowledge again, probably not my best work. I also realize because she can become a good player, dress big matches. Didn't notice that. Probably should have noticed it before, but yeah. All right. She was good last year. I'm going to give her faith again this year. In the end, it's only 2 teams coming up from our division this year. We did not see another team go up, so missing on the playoffs by goal difference was enough to deny Charlesburg a chance to be in the top flight for the first time in God knows how long. How were they new promoted or relegated? I actually don't know. So their last season they were just relegated. So actually they got relegated for the playoffs. So they're trying to get back up through the playoffs and failed. So that's all good for them. I'm going to get rid of that again. Again, this could come back to bite me. Okay. 330. Why didn't you just say so in the first place? For goodness sake. I need to give Larson a new contract so she can become professional. However, I don't want to pay that much. You. Important, yes. That kind of price, no. Non-negotiable. 100% not negotiable. Oh, okay. She was literally going to go for it. This one might come back to bite me, apparently. Seriously, I just couldn't negotiate harder. What the hell? I just realized I'm only got 1.2 grand away from the money I've already... Okay, so Larson's got new contracts. I kind of knew I was going to do that anyway. With her potential and how good she's been so far. With 9 goals and 5 assists this year. She's been really good for me, as far as I'm concerned. Does have some work to do, but she's not terrible either. I keep on missing the doesn't enjoy big matches thing. Am I going to come back to regret that? Also, I should probably look at the wages that players are being paid in the top flight before I go for these any more deals. Especially now I've only got £600 a week left to really spend on players' contracts and wages. We're paying £285,000 a week right now on wages. Worst part is, I look at this. We're only going to be 13th right now because the 2 teams that are going down are the 2 teams paying the least amount of money. So we're going to have the worst wages, or the second worst wages in the entire league. Okay. Good to know. Also makes what Lemkopin did all the more embarrassing. Ellsberg have got paying less than us, so we are going to have the 13th worst wages, lowest amount of wages paid in the league. I can work with this though. I've done stranger things. Also, I don't want to spend money on players. I might have to sell a big player to get my finances back in order, I think, and that's going to be painful. I mean, if I look at the BK hacking stuff and they're paying their players £1 grand a week, I don't think I can really compete with that. Yeah, 3 of their best players are being paid close to £1 grand a week, so this could be a problem. So BK Hacker are approaching me for my scout, which is interesting. Andreas Jonsson, I'll be honest with you, didn't think he'd be a target, but fair enough. Okay, so Jonsson has left us for BK Hacken, no surprise there. I'm actually going to try and give Tilda a new contract. I have no idea how much she's going to want. We're keen to do some business. Honestly, that is so reasonable. I was not expecting that. 240 when she's already been paid 210. Please be on that scale. That's what I ask. And she's agreed to be a squad player too. There we go. Happy days. Only £40 more. And I'm going to try and get you in. Process sign. Oh my god. Okay. No. I'm not even going to bother. Alright, you know what? Finance is going to be a problem long term, isn't it? Moddy! How about you? Oh, come on! Okay. Adverts are going out as well. I forgot to do this earlier, but I should do this now. I think I need to give you new contracts. Do not demand a lot of money. I hate this so much. I hate this so much. I should have done this sooner. Okay. This is going to come back to bite me. Yes, it is. No, it's not. No, it's not. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to keep you around. Just don't ask a lot of money, please. Oh my god. Sonny, I hate this. I hate this a lot. Okay, so we just got hit by a tax bill of 30 grand. And I don't know what's going on here. But we just got a membership fee, which is 21,000. And suddenly our finances look good. Because commercial income's just turned up. We just made 123,000 in sponsorship income. Not as much as BK Hacken's 1.17, but that's still good. Season ticket prices have been frozen and will not change for next season. The prices will be projected a result of a 30% uplift in the club's yearly earnings. Fair play, dude. And new scouting budget of 8.5 grand. How do I change this? Here we go. So I want you to just do surrounding leagues. That's all I want. Don't want anything else. Just cover the Swiss leagues. I'll be happy otherwise. Yes. Also, players. I have not even looked at this, by the way. But it looks like players are starting to become available, and that is delightful. I said I was going to bring players in. Olivia Matson might be the first person we bring in. A Finnish international. At least on trial anyway. And Ellen Anderson as well. Apparently only a good second tier player, but let's be honest, I'm going to try every trick in the book to improve my squad. Hopefully I don't have to offer a lot of money. Okay, so 3 players have officially left us, so financially we should get some money back from that, I'd like to think. And we've got these players whose contracts expire in a year. 2 of those I'm going to try and get on new contracts anyway. Isabel Borderson and Ankov are going to try and get on new contracts. Emma Astrom, question mark so far, but I don't know yet. But with the finances now in the 80 plus, I can't get to it. Why can I not see the actual finances outside of this screen? But now we have made all the money from the sponsorship income, I'm hopeful that we can keep this going. Apparently we had 1 point with £200,000 a week early in the year, and then just completely plummeted down to 26 grand. I don't know where that money went, but clearly it went somewhere. What I do know is we are now on 80 grand, 81 grand for the first time ever. Apparently we made an income of 600 odd thousand last year, 644,000 last year. We made a profit, but we also lost about 534,000. So maybe there is an opportunity to do something here. I don't know, but potential income is here. Hallelujah. And projections are looking good. All of a sudden, I don't feel so concerned. Good news, I've been given a new contract. I'm being paid. How much am I being paid right now? £330 a year, apparently. They just want to give me a new contract on that. But it's a full-time contract, so that's that. Anyway, let's accept it and go from there. And say we've got a good opportunity. Either way, I think this season's ticked over. It has. We are actually in the top flight now. We are now on 90 grand at the moment, which is beautiful. I feel like that lost a bit of money since we last checked things. What? Where do we just lose money from? What I do know is we are officially in the top flight now for the first time. Unfortunately, the season preview thing's broken, so I can't even tell you where we're expected to finish. Which is great. Which is really great. Love that. Love this game. I don't know where we're expected to finish in this. Apart from attempting to avoid relegation, or at least something like that. I don't know. Relegation strugglers. I don't even get a prediction. Can I get a prediction, please? That's all I'm asking for. A prediction. It's not much, is it? It's not that much to ask for, right? Anyway, new contract signed. Happy days. Also, Anderson and Masson have both agreed to come on trial. So, good stuff. Hopefully, we can get something out of this. Ah, yeah, that's what happened. Oh, I should have given new contracts, shouldn't I? Oops. All the more reason to get rid of you, honestly. We're also expected to get 22 grand in TV rights. Nice. So Anderson's probably not going to be a player we sign because she's not going to really improve us a lot, which is an issue that I have to really worry about my centre-back position. This is actually a good opportunity to see if the players we have are good enough for the team anyway or the division. I doubt they will be. Olivia, on the other hand, is a decent player for this division. Probably isn't going to be that much more better, but it's good to see the opportunity. At least something we can work with. She's a deep line playmaker as well for my opportunity. So 320 to... You know what? I'm just going to take the opportunity and go for it, you know? You know what? I don't mind the release clauses. I'll take those 100%. 330. Okay. That's going to take us over the wage budget, but I'm fine with that. Also, Cecilia is not with the club anymore. Her £190 a week thing is just going to be a thing that we won't have Hulk control of because she's not going to go until the 28th. So there's that. Oh, we can adjust the budget. Okay, so what we're just adjusting here, 2.3 grand from the current transfer budget. I'll do it, but I'm a bit confused as to why we have to do it. But we do have Olivia Matson officially signed for us, and it's our first signing of the summer. Or the winter, anyway. Apparently, I've always succeeded at this promise, but apparently it still says too early to judge, so I don't know. Make of that. What I also now know is I've gone over the wage budget immediately with that one signing, so say what you will about that, 100%. I am just going to say, well, what were you expecting from me? I had to do something here. I need to adjust your contract, 100%. Oh my god, it's actually got to go lower. If I can get it to go lower, that'd be perfect. Important player, yes. Oh my gosh, she's willing to go down. I love you. I love the fact you're willing to negotiate down. Yes, you're getting a bit more bonuses, but that's fine. I don't mind the fact. Okay, Nicole. I'm going to ask you very politely if I can negotiate your contract. So you're on a permanent. I want to do that. What am I doing? I'm going to ask if I can get you a permanent contract, but might be a bit less than money. Oh my god, this might be the way to go about this. Yeah, all right, I'm willing to think of this a little bit. Yes, I'm paying more other areas. I'm actually paying less than some areas actually, but if it means I can get some other things going, that's great. 100%. Dude, I'm able to negotiate these contracts down. This is amazing. Not interested. Would need to be significantly strengthened. Okay. I want to check. We're looking at a few options. Can I ask a bit lower? Be squad, if I'm honest with you. Yeah, she's willing to go squad. She's willing to go... Everyone's willing to go lower wages. Okay, that's amazing. For full-time staff, they're willing to go lower wages. She might be the first person that's actually trying to go higher. I could have gone lower, but whatever. A goalkeeping coach is retiring at the end of the season. I'm struggling to bring people into the first as new coaches and staff. That's annoying. Okay, so everyone's signing new contracts. This is really promising to say the least. It's not a huge difference, but it's enough to try and get the wages down a little bit. And it's kind of promising to say the least. And we are almost back under the wage budget, which is great. I do need to go slightly under a bit more, but we're making good progress either way. And I'm hopeful that eventually we can get back under, whether because someone leaves or because of a sale or something like that. But it's slow progress, and we are going to need to slowly but surely improve the team. Suddenly feel like the giving Beck and Larson then contracts of that high of a quality was a bit of a mistake. I have, you live and you learn, I suppose. It's one of those things, 100%. We just need to get Goldman a new contract because she's not going to sign a new contract right now. And that sucks because she needs a squad to be very much improved in the next 2 years. She's also on a semi-pro contract, so she's not going to get much better either way. How much do you want for your new contract? The same? I'm getting rid of that though. My god. No. Lower to 170? Yes. Slow progress. I did realize I left the increased wages by 10%, but I'm fine with that. Okay, what I'm going to do is end the video at this point here. We're on the 10th of January. I've only made one signing so far, but we got 2 months before the league starts and another 2 months before we get into the Swedish Cup games as well. So I have no idea what to expect in the next couple of months transfer-wise. Do we make a big sale? Do we make some good signings on frees? I don't know yet, but there's opportunities aplenty, and with free contracts about, you never know what we can bring in. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. I hope you guys will like and share this video and that you subscribe to the channel. It really does help me a lot. But anyway, until next time, goodbye and well, good night.